At the end of Module 6, you are expected to recognize the basic music of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and Visayas, and the localized musical instrument that they used for the accompaniment. B. Use the basic music of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and Visayas while practicing. C. Describe the music of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and the Visayas and the localized musical instrument that they used for accompaniment. D. Identify the different local materials for creating local and simple crafts. E. Create crafts that can be locally assembled with local materials, guided by local traditional techniques. F. Classify the correct and fit local materials to create local and simple crafts. G. Execute the basic skills needed in table tennis at home. H. Perform the exercise needed to have good ball control. Execute the basic strokes in playing table tennis. J. Identify the different types of eating disorders. K. Be aware of the different causes of eating disorders. L. Know the different ways to avoid eating disorders. Music and Song Performance Practice. Grade 7 Music Week 6 Day 1. Performs music from Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan and Visayas. Music and Song Performance Practice. This module is about the music of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and the Visayas. In this module, you will be able to see the relationships of culture and music within the Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and the Visayas. As well as you will learn how to appreciate the richness of indigenous music in the Philippines through the activities which will also develop your musical skills. In this module, the learners will practice and apply all their knowledge in the music of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and the Visayas. The learners will also use a localized musical instrument to become their accompaniment. Here is the other suggestion: music of Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and the Visayas, and their link will be posted in this video. These are the lyrics of the songs from Cordillera: the salidumay, the ambahan of Mindoro, Palawan the song ploning, Visayas the dandansoy. You can choose one song to sing for your activity in week 6. The links will be provided in the description box. Feel free to search these songs in YouTube. Song practice with accompaniment direction. Choose any song from Cordillera, Mindoro, Palawan, and the Visayas. Listen and study the flow of music that you choose. Practice the music with accompaniment using the different materials that can be found at home. While practicing the music, the learners must open their cams so that the teacher will see them. Or the learners can record their practice and send the video to the teacher via FB Messenger. LOCALIZATION of Art Crafts of Mimaropa and Visayas Artwork. Grade 7 Arts Week 6 Day 2. Creates crafts that can be locally assembled with local materials, guided by local traditional techniques. Mimaropa is known as the Southern Tagalog region of the Philippines. It is assigned as Region 4B. The term Mimaropa is a blend of the names of its constituent regions Mindoro, Marinduque, Romblon, and Palawan. The Visayas comprehensively share a sea culture with solid Roman Catholic conventions converged with social components through hundreds of years of cooperation and between movements for the most part over the oceans of Visayas, Sibuyan, Camotes, Bohol, and Sulu, and in some disconnected regions converged with old animistic polytheistic impacts. In this module, the learners will create a local craft using local materials and apply the elements and principles of arts. Basket weaving materials, yarn paste, plastic bottle scissor. Direction: cut the plastic bottle to the daisy red height. Cut the side of the bottles evenly to make strips. Do not cut all the way. Tie the end of the yarn to the first strips so that the yarn will not move when weaving. Start weaving the yarn to the body of the bottle using the over-under technique. Finish up to the top of the bottle. While doing the basket weaving, the learners will open their cams so that the teacher will see them. Or the learners can record themselves while doing the basket weaving and send the video to the teacher via FB Messenger. Individual sport, grade 7 pay week 6 day 3. Executes the skills involved in the sport. What are the other basic skills needed in table tennis? Grip is the way how the player holds the racket. There are 3 types of grip. Pen hold, it resembles holding a pen. Here the player's middle ring, little fingers are curled around the racket. Shake hand, as the name suggests, this type of grip resembles one shaking a hand. This hold is also called the Western grip, as many players of Europe and America use this style of holding a racket. Similar, this grip is named after Danny Similar, as he was the one who used this technique. To have this kind of grip, one should place the thumb and index finger on either side of the racket and the rest of the fingers should be placed at the bottom part. Backhand push. To play this stroke, stand close to the table and take a stance facing the line of play. Strike the ball on the back bottom portion so that your can impart slight backspin. Forehand push. Strike the back bottom part of the ball with very light touch. The ball should have a trace of backspin. Backhand drive. The action is like that of throwing a frisbee. Striking the top part, back part of the ball with a forceful brush. Forehand drive. Strike the top back of the ball with a forceful brush in an upward motion. Basic ball control. Reasonable table tennis strokes rely on good ball control. To practice ball control, you can follow the following steps. Bouncing the ball on the forehand side of the racket, attempting to reach a uniform height. 2. Repeat isang bat using the backhand side of the racket. 3. Bouncing the ball in each side of the racket. 4. Repeating exercise 1, 2, and 3 bat varying the height of the bounce. 5. Repeating all the exercises but with added movement, it could be walking or jogging. Physical education activity. Activity 1. Let's have a drill. Perform the exercise used for achieving ball control. Count the times you will hit the ball in 2 minutes for each exercise. Fill up the table provided. Activity 2. Against the wall. Using the wall as your opponent, try to perform the basic strokes in the table tennis. Count how many times you will successfully execute the strokes asked in 2 minutes. Fill up the table. Preventing and controlling eating disorder. Grade 7 Health Week 6 Day 4. Explains the characteristics, signs and symptoms of eating disorders. Discusses ways of preventing and controlling eating disorders. What are the types of eating disorder? Anorexia nervosa, an eating disorder wherein individuals starve themselves, leading them to a far below the healthy weight. 2. Bulimia or bulimia nervosa, frequent eating of very large amounts of food followed by purging, such as self-induced vomiting to undo the effects of stuff eating. 3. Binge eating disorder, compulsive overeating in which a person eats huge amounts of food without control. What is eating disorder? Eating disorder refers to an abnormal habit which results to insufficient or excessive food intake. How will you recognize eating disorders? Have negative body image. 2. Have low self-esteem. 3. Moody. 4. May be depressed. 5. Feel inadequate. 6. Have difficulty in social situations. How can you help a person with eating disorder? Familiarize yourself with eating disorders by knowing facts against myths. 2. Be honest. 3. Be caring but firm. 4. Compliment. 5. Be a good role model. 6. People struggling with eating disorders need professional help. Health activity. 1. All about eating disorders. Choose inside the box words, phrases that describe below each eating disorder and write your answer in the corresponding column. List down also the different consequences of each eating disorder.